Community Highlights. Another local exclusive from Southeastern Michigan's news and information station, MonroeCountyRadio.com.
This is our town, the place we call home.
Welcome to This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkey, a local public affairs presentation on MonroeCountyRadio.com. Brought to you by Allen Chevrolet Cadillac. All roads lead to Chevrolet. Here's Jeff Yorkey.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of This Is Our Town. I'm Jeff Yorkey. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope everybody's having a good holiday. And in our town today is my old friend, Whitney Rutledge. How you doing, Whitney?
I'm great. Happy to be back.
It is great to have you back. It's been a while.
I know.
You know, Whitney, if you didn't already know, she used to work for us here, and I met you through your dad, and your dad runs the landscaping company. How's he doing?
Great. Keeping busy.
In fact, I think the first time I met you was you and your sister were on the show together.
I think so. I have a picture of that. We're all in this little office, and yeah.
Pretty cool. So you guys are doing good?
Yeah.
Dad's doing good?
Keeping busy. Everyone's chasing their dreams.
Chasing their dreams.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get into that because that's why you're here.
Right.
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 We'll talk about that. But first, we got to catch up a little bit. So what's new with how are the dogs?
Great.
And what kind are you still doing all the like philanthropical work that you were doing before?
Yes,
philanthropical work, whatever the heck the word is.
I'm doing everything. I'm helping out in one organization, and then I'm helping another place, and then I'm running my business, and then I help my dad every so often. And so,
I've met a ton of people on this show through you and the work that you used to do on this show.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Well, you know what? I mean, we've talked a lot on this show, and you and I used to talk a little bit about that. It's all about networking sometimes, right? Yeah. And you know what really impresses me about you are very young, and you have still done an amazing job of networking, and I'll bet you got a lot of that from your dad.
Oh, gosh.
As a businessman, right? He's got to do that kind of stuff.
Yep, and he's going to listen to this and smile from ear to ear just hearing that. So it's true, though. It is.
Yeah.
And we see it more and more every day, and
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is.
So you have a new endeavor, which I found interesting. And let me tell you about it, because here's the thing. So as I get older and older, I become more and more sort of cynical. I don't know if that's something natural for people when you get older. You know, I still find I'm still a very optimistic guy. I still very idealistic and everything else. But I also sometimes I question things that have happened in the past. And when I found out about your new endeavor, which we'll get into in a minute, it made me think about something that I had read a while back ago, and it was about John D. Rockefeller. And John D. Rockefeller was, believe it or not, he was the big oil magnate and everything. But I found out that he also seemed to be, speaking of philanthropy, he seemed to be this guy that was all interested in medicine, and he would put these foundations together, and he would help to support all these pharmaceutical companies and everything else. And I thought, wow, that's really great. And then I started looking into it, and I started getting older, and I started getting more cynical, and I realized that, well, you know what? They use petroleum to make a lot of those medicines. And isn't it interesting that that he sort of poo-pooed the holistic approach to wellness back at the turn of the 20th century. And you know, with all the things that have been going on, you know, nowadays you see a good chunk of the population almost sort of cynical about medicine. And you turn on the TV and you see an advertisement from Big Pharma about this, and whatever ails you can be cured with some pill, right? Yep. And I thought it was really fantastic to find out that, because I started to think, you know, whatever happened back in the day, you know, when I was a kid, we used to talk about acupuncture and acupressure, and you'd hear people talk about different herbs and different vitamins that you could take and things like that. And people would go, oh, that's ridiculous. That's witch doctor stuff. But then, more and more foreign countries, they would do these studies. And for example, I don't know if you realize this, but before COVID, England, they did a study and they found out that people that took vitamin D supplements had less of a chance of getting the flu than people that got the flu shot. And you're like, well, isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. So you tell everybody about your latest endeavor, because it sort of fits right into that whole sort of thing.
So it's Tub Tea by Whitney is the name of the business. It's actually expanding every single day. Like, I'm in over my head sometimes, and I just have an idea and I go for it. So currently I have my website. There's 25 items on there. They're all natural. I use the same brand of oils. I research. I have like a notepad that has all of my notes in it. It's not just, this was going to sell or this is going to sell. It's the research behind it.
Right.
I can say that this has been my first year ever in my life that I have not taken any sinus medication or anything, and I have a sinus nasal inhaler. Mm-hmm. And you just feel better. Like, your body just feels so much better when you're not putting these daily chemicals into your body. And
so, Whitney, tell everybody, so this is a holistic wellness approach,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And they're
oils.
products that help to help in that endeavor, right?
Yes.
So what was it? Was it the chronic sinus infections that you got? Is that what kind of prompted you to look into this? Yeah.
Yeah. So this goes way back. I mean, this is like, I've watched people in my family struggle with depression. I've watched people that, they go get on medication, which I'm not saying you can't. You can do whatever you feel you need to do. But it was just kind of what you were saying. Like, on TV, you see this, and then you see this, and then this doctor's saying this, and no one's ever saying there's a whole nother opportunity out there that you can take something. So it was kind of just, let me start with the sinuses. Let me see what I can do. Then I started with the Tub Tea, which is the original product, and it's just a relaxant for your bath.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rose, they're orange, like, it's all different essential oils and herbs and dried fruits and everything, and they all have different meanings. Like, they boost your mood, and I mean, there's so much.
So you had to do a ton of research in order to find out what works, what doesn't, why does it work, and all that stuff. How long have you been working on that?
So this has been around for, I would say this has been something I've been interested in my whole life. I never took medication. Even I got my wisdom teeth out and I didn't take anything. Like, I just couldn't bring myself to do it for some reason. So it's always been like in the back of my head. And then Tub Tea came around about a year ago now, and the research never ends. Like, every day there's a new product, there's a new textbook. My dad would laugh at that, because when my birthday comes or Christmas and he says, what do you want? It's a new textbook, or it's a new, and he's like, why do you want this?
So for you, this has been this is an approach, this is a lifelong kind of approach where you have been, we've had guests on the show many times before. I know you got a bunch of those guests to come on the show for me before, and they talk a little bit about, how they started, what was it that gave them that passion, and then they talk about all the different research that they've done in order to make sure that something works. And you've been doing this for quite some time then, right?
Yeah, and just mental health, I feel like it was the time to finally, like, release this to the world, quote unquote, because it's just so bad. I mean, people don't take care of themselves. They don't realize a nightly routine changes your whole life, or a morning routine, and it's just my way of kind of not pushing people to do this lifestyle, but just telling them, like, you're not alone. People need help. People need self-care, and it's here, and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. My prices are, oh my gosh, they're as cheap as they can be. Basically, it's material and a little money in my pocket, but it's really just hoping to help the people around me.
Now, is it mostly like herbs and stuff like that, and teas and things of that nature? I mean, they're all natural products, right?
Yes.
And so in the process of you figuring out what works for mood disorders, or what works for anxiety, what works for this, that, or the other thing, you found that, hey, this Does it work on like senses, like smell?
Yeah.
I mean, does that sort of relax part of your body such that it can change a mood and relieve anxiety, as opposed to taking some kind of pill that John D. Rockefeller, I'm sure, would have more than approved back in the day.
Yeah, it's crazy what the smell of things, I guess, just being able to put it in your house, or the inhalers, you're inhaling it through your nostril, like just to put it into your body, and you're not eating it, you're not doing anything like that, you're kind of just putting it around you, but it's changing more than what people realize. And it's really, I mean, I use every single one that I make. Every product I've tested on myself, and it's been made because I needed it.
Right.
But I mean, for example, like orange is a mood booster. Lemon, like your citrusy, those are all proven to be like mood boosters. There's essential oils that are actually antidepressants that people use to make these medications, but instead you're just taking the smell from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like the natural oils, if you buy one of your products, is it something that you would like burn like in a candle kind of thing, or is it something you just open it up and the smell just permeates the room, or how does that work?
So right now I have the tub tea, which is a little tea bag filled with bath salts, essential oils, coconut oil, and then say you bought the orange one. It has dried orange slices. It has everything you need, and you cut the bag open and you pour it in your tub and you sit in it. So like the steam of it, you're smelling that, and then you're putting that on your skin, and it has skin benefits. It has like smelling benefits. It has all different, and you're just sitting in this.
So it's like Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yes. So
in the bathtub.
That's the tub tea. I have roller blends that are just the little rollers that you buy with the little ball on it, and you just put it on your wrist or behind your ears. I have those.
And so that would have like a scent on it.
Yep.
And that would be in a place on your body where you'd. And so like how long would that last?
So that works through your bloodstream. So
okay.
You're technically only supposed to use it 2 to 3 times a day, because people don't realize like it actually is very strong. It's not a chemical that you're putting in your body, but it's the same as medication. Like if you're taking Tylenol every 4 hours, you can only use this roller blend every 5 hours, because it's going right into your blood.
Yeah.
But it's clean products working for you.
So, and I mean, aside from the fact that, this stuff, I mean, are there studies out there that show that this stuff actually works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I have never-ending research. One that I'm working on right now is I have a family member who has severe Parkinson's, and they have, I can't cure Parkinson's yet, but that's a goal. But it's, right. Tremors, vertigo, all of that. And there's actually...
Sort of assist with the symptoms, right?
Yeah. And there's actually smells that stimulate your brain to, like, stop making your hand shake. Or there's ways that you can sit on the floor, and then you can use a roller blend, and you can sit there for 15 minutes and inhale it, and it actually makes you, like, balance out your vision. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole bunch of study out there.
Right. And I would imagine that one of the biggest advantages to something like this is that you don't have to worry too much about side effects, right?
Right.
Because we all know like a lot of medicines out there have side effects like crazy. Sometimes you take a vaccine, they make you sit in the waiting room for an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Make sure that nothing happens to you before you can leave.
Right.
So this is something that you don't really have to worry too much about, right?
No. Nope.
Why do you think this stuff doesn't take, especially nowadays? There's a mental health crisis in our country. Why do you suppose that it is that this isn't taken off more?
I think it's the big white elephant in the room. Unfortunately, there was a celebrity the other day that he took his own life due to mental health, and it's like everyone talks about that and everyone's posting, and I'm kind of reading through Facebook or TikTok or whatever it's on, and you're just like, this is going on every day. But it takes something so big. And I asked that question, but I think it's people, like, they're embarrassed to talk about it. They feel like they're alone, so they don't really talk about it. My products, I believe in them 100%, but they're hard to sell because people don't believe it.
Yeah.
Or because you tell them it's an oil and they don't, but they don't read the textbook that I read, or they don't study it or they don't have a passion for it. But I sit down with every single person who has a question and I answer it, and I've had great feedback, so I can only hope to continue to help share this with others.
Well, Whitney, you know the routine. I got to take a break.
Okay.
But when we come back, I would like to talk to you specifically about some of the products that you have out there.
Okay.
Because I think they're pretty cool. And then we can talk about how they help and what they're for. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, back right after this message from our good buddy John Allen over at Allen Chevrolet Cadillac.
Hi, this is John Allen of Allen Chevrolet Cadillac. I want to tell you about our new program. It's called Allen Gives Back. We are giving away a new 2022 Chevrolet Equinox. The way you enter into this amazing giveaway is by donating or volunteering at our designated charities every 2 weeks. The more you give and volunteer, the more chances you have to win. You can get more details on our webpage, Facebook, or Instagram. Remember, when you buy or service your vehicle at Allen Chevrolet Cadillac, it allows us to give back to this amazing community. Chevrolet, find new roads.
And welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm here with Whitney Rutledge, and Whitney is the founder and owner of Tub Tea by Whitney. It's a holistic approach to wellness, and it includes a whole bunch of products. And if you're just joining us, we were talking a little bit about the benefits of some of those products and how they can help you with all kinds of issues, everything from anxiety to depression and other sort of mental health issues, right? And how important that really is, especially given everything that we've seen. If you've watched the news, Lord knows you know that coming through on the other end of this pandemic, one of the things that we've seen is really a new pandemic of mental health issues. You were alluding to it, a celebrity that just committed suicide not too long ago, and that unfortunately just seems to be one of the problems that we have in today's society. And to some extent, these products are aimed at helping people to cope with all the problems of today's society. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, that's 100%. And I mean, it's me kind of being the spokesperson for it because it's all things that I've needed in my life or I use every day. So it's just to hope that people start admitting that it's okay to need help and to not feel so alone.
And now you've done a bunch of research, and in the process, you've created a bunch of products that are designed to help people cope with a lot of these issues that we talked about, right?
Right.
And these are your own formulas that you've come up with based on all the research that you've done.
Yeah. Just to give you a perspective, I have textbooks that kind of categorizes essential oils and says this one's for this and this one's for that. It's recommended to use 3 per product just to get the benefit of it, but it's just kind of mixing and matching after reading about what they are.
And then trying it out on yourself, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and in fact, you were talking about the chronic sinus infections you've had. Now, there's something that's even more than just a mental health issue, although it can certainly exacerbate a mental health issue. I know that anybody that's ever suffered through a sinus headache or a sinus infection realizes, and when you have a chronically, that's even more problematic. And so that was one of the things that sort of prompted you to do this sort of thing. Now, what is it? And did you design a product specifically that you sell on your website that's for something like that, sinus infections?
Yeah. So for my whole life, I've had sinuses and allergies, and I'm actually allergic to a medication. So even when you go into the doctors and they go to diagnose you with the sinus infection, I can't even take the medicine. So it's kind of like you don't know why you're doing that anymore. So I've went years without taking even like over-the-counter allergy medication, and I just suffered through it. And then finally it was, let me give this a shot. And honestly, it's been a whole year since I've created it, and I haven't had.
So which product is that? If I was having chronic sinus infections and I went onto your website, which one of those products would be the one that I would be interested in getting to address that problem?
So I have the sinus nasal inhaler, which is what I recommend. Some people are iffy about using a nasal inhaler, even though it's just you put it in your nostril and you inhale and then you do it on the other side. So that one is the one that I recommend. I also have the roller blend, though, if you're iffy about breathing it in, and that goes in your bloodstream. So I
that's
use
one
both.
that you would you'd roll the roller on the back of your ear or
Yep,
something like that.
the
or on
soles
your
of your
wrist.
feet on your wrist. It goes
Okay.
right into your bloodstream, and it kind of just soaks in.
Yeah.
And they're the same ingredients. It's just two different versions of it.
Just two different vehicles to get
Yeah.
it into your system. So what is in there? What's in there? Do you remember exactly what? I mean, I don't need the exact formula, but
Yeah.
what are like sort of that so-called, I don't want to call them active ingredients, but maybe active.
Yeah,
what
no,
is it
they
that
are.
makes them work?
And this is all listed on the website,
Right.
just for legalities of it. So if anyone ever
Sure.
has a question, I'm open to answering any question. But the sinus ones are the peppermint, the eucalyptus, and the lavender. The lavender is, everyone knows it's for relaxing, for stress, but
Yeah.
it can actually like calm your nose down and take away like the head pressure, the tension, anything like that, because it's calming your body.
Right.
The eucalyptus, anything in the mint family, it's been proven for, oh my gosh, for the dawn of time that
Right,
that's
right.
something. People use the eucalyptus shower bundles. They put it in their shower and they just breathe it in.
Like we talked about before the break, when I was a kid, the Vicks Vapor Rub, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's I can remember my grandma putting that stuff all over my chest and on my nose.
And this is
everything.
almost similar, but you're
Yeah.
kind of taking out of the factory chemicals that they're putting in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it has the same smell. It's the eucalyptus. It's the mint family. It's the peppermint, which is strong enough to kind of push that sinuses out of your nose.
Yeah.
And then the lavender just to relax you in some way. So whatever's hurting or whatever's bothering you, that's taking away from it.
I wonder if it also helps with like pain. For example, I know recently I sprained my foot, and I went to the store and I was looking for a bunch of whatever I could put on my foot to relieve some of the pain. And I noticed that a lot of that stuff had eucalyptus in it, and that must have some sort of soothing effect on that, which would
Yeah.
explain why it would make your sinuses feel better, right?
Eucalyptus is recommended for like athletes to kind of take a bath in a eucalyptus, which I have that tub tea, which is made with the natural eucalyptus, and it just takes the tension out of your body.
The tub tea, is that like the rose tub tea, or is that a different?
I believe there's 7 different ones that I have. There's the rose, there's orange, there's a triple threat, there's eucalyptus,
Lavender.
Wow. The chamomile, which is made with chamomile tea, and they're perfect for this time of year because our skin is so rough and dry, and it actually soothes your skin. And then they all have different benefits as well. The lavender is obviously stress and relaxing. Chamomile is more soothing. Eucalyptus is athletes or sinuses.
Yeah.
Rose is, there's over 30 benefits in rose.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's really just, what is it? Is it like dried rose petals?
Yeah, with a few, I use capsules that have oils in them, and then I pour the oils into it, and then I use bath salt. So it's just a little combination that I put together, and I put it in a little bag.
Now,
And
the oils. What are the oils? What are they made from? Do you know?
the brand, I use a brand that is actually pure cold pressed oil.
Okay.
So it's taking, say, that plant or whatever it is that I'm using, and it's just getting the juice out of it, but they're not processing
okay.
it with chemicals. And so, yeah, anything can be made into a liquid.
So is that like a rose oil? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Really? And so I would imagine that would be a much more concentrated form of that. So roses have that kind of effect. They have all these different effects on the body.
It's amazing. I have it's called Summertime Glow Oil, and it's made with my rose, and it's made with lemongrass, and it's for like all over your body. It works for dry skin. It brightens tattoos. Like it has over 35 benefits in that, and I sell out of that. I can't even keep a stock of that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, what is it? Is it? I mean, you rub it all over your body. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, just when you go to bed, you can put it, if your skin's really dry on your face, you can put it on your face. If your hands are really dry, you can put it on your hands. I have people that just say, like, I go head to toe and I go to bed, and that's it. I soak it all in. And
So it's like, so like the rose, what is it called? The rose tub. That was like one of the first ones that you have, rose tub tea.
Yes.
That's something that you would just put in your
Bathtub,
Your
yes.
bathtub. What would you put if I wanted to get if I wanted the rose for my skin and all that stuff, what would I
The
get?
summertime glow oil would be your best bet. It's very oil based, so it's not something you can do like in the mornings and then go to work with, but it's something you can do when you're at home.
Okay.
I have such dry skin that it actually hurts for
Really?
years. Like
Yeah.
I've gone tanning because that helped, but I don't really want to tan.
Right.
I've had facials, but those add up. So it's like, it was kind of, again, all these products were made for something that I needed and I wanted to help others with. And I put it on my face before I go to bed. I put it on my hands because my hands crack in the winter. And then I have tattoos that I put it on, and I have people that just buy it for their tattoos. I have people that cover themselves in it. I have people that put it all over their face. If they're at home, they do it on the weekends repeatedly. And
So it's something that's going to stay on there for a while.
yeah, and rose is it's made for like wrinkle prevention, dry skin. It has like pH balance in it. Like there's so many different skin types that rose can help you with.
Right.
So that's why that's one of my biggest sellers.
So, and you said that did you say that was the
That's the summertime glow
summertime
oil.
glow? So how long, if I wanted to get some of that oil and I just say put it on my face every night before I went to bed,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't, because I don't know.
But you
Maybe-
might, because you're
yeah.
going to love it. And it smells like roses. It smells amazing.
Yeah.
It's very calming.
So what you're telling me, Whitney, is this isn't just a chick thing.
No.
A guy should do it too.
Oh my
You
gosh.
think I could get rid of these wrinkles on my face?
Yes, I think so. I don't even see that many, so we could do it overnight probably.
Oh, you're very nice. So how long would if I bought one of those? How long would that last me? About.
Well, just depend. If you just did it on your face,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
like a month to 2 months,
Really?
I would say. Yeah, I have a lot of returning customers, but I really don't see. They do a big order 1 month, and then I don't see them, and then they come back the next month and they refill everything.
And how much would something like that cost me?
I believe that's $12.50 on my website.
$12.50, and that would last me a month. I
Yeah.
tell you what, man, I buy oil of Olay for my wife. It sounds like it'd be a lot cheaper getting this than that oil of Olay garbage,
It would be.
and probably better for her too.
And
right?
again, that goes down to people overcharge these products to make the money for it. And I'm trying to make this a business, but I don't want to rip anyone off to do it. So, I mean, that's why we have the problems that we have is people can't go get their nails done. It's $70, or they
Right.
can't go get a facial because that's $120.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't do much for yourself unless you're
Right.
going to go for a walk in the park and it's free, but
Yeah.
it's
So, okay, I got to ask about this one because, as you
Okay.
can see, it's wintertime.
Yes.
I started out in November with No Shave November, and I decided to keep it here halfway through December. I'm growing a beard, and I noticed that one of the things that you have on here is in your men's collection, a beard oil.
I do.
So what does that do? What's
Oh my
that going to
gosh.
do?
So that was actually, I had 2 guys in my family that were bothering me because they wanted this oil, and I didn't feel like doing it yet. And
Yeah.
finally I did it, and I mixed some things together. They wanted a fruity oil that was still manly. It was the hardest task that I ever had to do.
Oh, yeah?
And it's tea tree, it's orange, it has kind of citrus and then clove. So it's I think it smells great, honestly. And they put it on before they go to bed, and then
Yeah.
they put it on in the mornings because it's not just an oil base, so it's not like leaving your skin all oily.
Right.
And it moisturizes the skin under your beard, and then it moisturizes your beard so that it grows more.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really? Now, does it also sort of like get the rogue hairs to sort of calm down?
Yeah.
Stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah, if you take the little brush and
Yeah.
kind of just brush it after you put the oil in, it'll keep it in place.
Now, I see one other thing here that I got to ask you about
Okay.
before I got to let you go. And that's because I know both of us absolutely love our little pooches at home. They're Upset Belly Roller Blend for dogs.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I do have a pet line. I also have a tick repellent, but it's not tick season right now, so I took that off. But everything that I even put on my dog, I research more than I research it for myself. And
Because you can't test it on yourself, right?
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, it's not harmful chemicals, but
Sure.
it's a lot.
This is all natural stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, Dixie, she eats everything, and then
Yeah.
she pukes all night, and then she does it again the next day, and it's like a never-ending cycle with her. So this is actually just a little roller blend like we would buy for ourselves, and you put it on their stomach if they are getting sick, and it's calming down their stomach.
Really?
So just like how our oils go into like our bloodline, this is going into them, but it's 1,000% safe. It's not any chemicals mixed. It's not any ingredients dogs can't have, and it just, you don't want them to be sick. So
no, I got the same problem with my little Nola. She goes and eats all kinds of garbage that she shouldn't be eating. And then all night long you can hear her tummy growling, and you just know.
They're miserable.
Yeah.
You're miserable because
Right,
you're cleaning it up.
Wake you up at 3 a.m. because she's got to go outside.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think this is an awesome line of products that you've got, and I sure hope. I know I'm interested in some stuff. I'm definitely gonna order some stuff. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's something that we really need nowadays.
Yeah, we do.
Well, hey, thanks. It was great seeing you again.
I know. Thanks for having me. It was so nice.
And I wish you the absolute best of luck once again. What's the name of if I want to get on here? On your website, where do I go?
Tub Tea by Whitney, and then .square.site, and that is my website. I'm on Facebook. It's just Tub Tea by Whitney. The website's linked to that. I'm on TikTok. You can just type in Tub Tea by Whitney, and it'll pop up.
All right. For all of your holistic wellness needs, right?
Right.
I love it. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Whitney. I really appreciate you coming on. But as you know, it is now time. We're going to go bobbing around Monroe with our good buddy Bob Vergils. So that is unfortunately all the time we have for this episode of This Is Our Town. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Join us every Sunday at noon and Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another edition of This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkey, a local public affairs presentation on MonroeCountyRadio.com. Brought to you by Allen Chevrolet Cadillac. All roads lead to Chevy.
This is our town, the place we call home.